You don't have to look like me. You don't have to sound like me. You don't have to be anywhere near me to understand me. And I don't understand why so many people act like you have to be in somebody's group to empathize with what they're going through, and vice versa. You know, I think that's absurd. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about why in a second. I'm Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, pass it on to somebody else who might like it too, and drop us a positive comment in the comment section. And please remember to stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to read two of my favorite positive comments and respond to them. If you would like to get a reading done, please email me. And if you would like to hit me up on social media, or if you'd like to send me a gift or send me a donation through PayPal, all my information is underneath this video. So I've been talking to different people that are in, different groups probably my whole life. I've always been very interested in the similarities amongst people from different groups. So whenever I meet people from a different part of the country or a different part of the world, I always want to know about their experiences. What was it like for you growing up? What was it like, what is it like in your neighborhood? What's it like for women? What's it like for men? What kind of opportunities are available to you? I like asking questions like that. And it seems like to me so many people that are in one particular group, any particular group, feel like they really cannot empathize with the plight of people in other groups. They'll say things like, well, I don't know what it means to be, for instance, a black woman. Somebody might say to me, I don't know what it means to or how it feels to be a black woman. No, you don't if you're not a black woman. But I bet you might have some similar experiences that even if it's not exactly the same, it at least gives you a bit of a smidgen of what that may feel like. Maybe there was a time when you've experienced something similar. Like if we're talking about hair, for example. I saw these two women talking about hair, a black woman and a white woman. And the black woman was saying that, there was times when she was discriminated against because her hair is natural. And the white woman was saying that she has never experienced anything like that. She's never been discriminated against because of her hair or her looks or whatever the case is. And she was like, I've never experienced that. And I was thinking to myself, you haven't experienced that particular thing, but you have experienced being treated unfairly. So don't think about it on, as an exact. Don't think, okay, I've never had this exact thing happen to me. You haven't, but you have had similar things happen to you. You've been discriminated against for something that was unfair before. And, it could have been something small, it could have been something minor, but you've had it happen to you before. It could have been because you were a woman. It could have been because you didn't have enough money. It could have been because of who your parents were or who your parents weren't. So my thing is that you can empathize with a person even if you've never been through what they've been through. I've never been a man before. At least not in this life. Not in this lifetime. I've never been a man before. But I can still listen to them talk, or listen to them tell a story, or hear them say something and understand the feeling they might have had, whether it be fear, anger, frustration, happiness. I can still understand what he's talking about, even though I've never technically lived as a man. But I've had things similar happen to me. So if a man is talking to me about, like, for example, if a man is talking about being passed over for a job, because he's not a woman, for example, and how that made him feel. I don't understand what it means to be a man and to get passed over for a job, but I do know what it means to be a woman and get passed over for a job that I rightfully deserved. So it's got to be not the same, but a similar feeling of frustration, a similar feeling of maybe anger. So I might not have the exact same feeling, but I have a pretty good understanding from just what I've experienced. So what I'm saying to people is that sometimes maybe you haven't walked a mile in somebody's shoes. Maybe you have no idea what those shoes feel like, but you got a similar pair. You might not have a pair of Reeboks, but you got a pair of Nikes. And you've walked in them before and you know what it feels like to get a rock in them. The same way I had on my Adidas and got a rock on them. A rock in them. It wasn't exactly the same, but it was similar. So whenever somebody is talking to you about their situation, if it's somebody that is different than you, from a different culture, a different gender, a different race, a different political party, whatever the case is, you might not be able to say that you've had that exact experience, but try to remember experiences that you had that were similar and how you felt. Now, this person might not feel exactly the same way that you did, but remember how you felt about it. Remember if it was painful. Remember if it made you frustrated. Remember, some of your responses to it. Just think about it. And even if their responses aren't exactly the same, they might have some of the same feelings. And if you're not certain, ask them, how does it make them feel? I've noticed that a lot of times when somebody will start to talk about their pain, other people start talking about theirs too. And that shit always strange to me. It's always really weird because I'm like, okay. If somebody's talking about their pain, I don't start talking about mine too. I start getting more into what they're talking about. So if they're saying to me, well, I've been unemployed for 6 months. I don't have enough money to do what I got to do. I've been really worried about my family. I don't say, yeah, you, me too, girl. Yeah, I was thinking about the same thing. I need $20 for for some milk. And I don't know. I just listen to them and I'm like, really? So was it because of the coronavirus or what happened? And I start to ask more questions about what they're talking about. It's so weird to me how people will automatically start talking about themselves. This isn't about you. If somebody walks up and is talking about their pain, that's the absolute worst time to interject yours. Unless you're using your pain as like maybe a example. Like if the person says, well, I'm getting divorced, my heart is broken, my husband, is leaving me for a younger woman. And then you can say, well, I've got divorced before. Do you think my experience would be helpful? Do you want to hear my experience? You can ask them that after they're finished talking about their experience. The first thing you want to do is hear them out. You want to let them talk. This is one thing I learned about people. When people start to talk, a lot of times they don't want to answer. A lot of times they just want somebody to listen. So the first thing you can do is just listen. Let them talk. And when they're done, they've exhausted themselves, then you can say, I've had a similar experience. Would hearing about it help you? And if they say yes, then you can tell them. If they say, no, not right now, you can say, okay, I have had a similar experience. And if you want to know about it, feel free to hit me up. I would be happy to share it with you. And that's how you can do something like that without, without upsetting the other person, and being able to what we call empathize with the other person's plight. And I'm just mentioning this to you guys because I see this all the time. And my eyes are like, oh my God, when I see this, So the next time somebody comes up to you who's telling you a story and you have no idea what they're talking about, you've never been through this before, just remember to try to compare it to something that you've been through that was similar. Okay? And if you can't do that, the least you can do is listen. The least you can do is hear them out and give them a space to be able to be comfortable and do that. For a lot of people, and this is something I've come to find from doing readings, a lot of people don't have anybody to listen to them. If you can be that person, that could be a really great thing. It's a real gift. Listening to somebody is a real gift. All right, let's take out some positive comments. Kenneth Lane. Yeah, Kenneth Lane. Kenneth said, been binge watching your videos for a week now. Kenneth, that's what's up. That's what's up. I hope that you like them. I have like over 1,000 videos, literally. I post a lot, so I hope that you enjoy the information. And if you have a specific question, feel free to email me or hit me up on social media. If it's a general question, I'll use it for the show and I'll answer it for free. If it's a specific question, you are going to need to do a reading, and we can talk about that later. Okay? All right. Readings are pretty cool. Usually they take me about an hour. You know, I charge $70 per reading, and they usually take about an hour. You know, so for a lot of people, that's enough. You know, they give you a lot of information in the reading and a lot of homework. A lot of people get a lot of things like, go do this, go do that, you know, get this book, you know. So number 2 is from Sonia. Hey, Sonia. Sonia said, if you come to my house without calling, you will be mad because you will be left outside. Hello. Tell them again, Sonia. Yeah, if you come to the crib, if you come to the crib and you didn't tell me you was coming to the crib, don't expect to get in the crib. Bottom line, you know. I agree with Sonia 100%. All right, guys, you come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later.